What happens when family secrets are no longer whispers, but are dragged into the spotlight for millions of people to see? What happens when the truth, long buried, is finally confirmed by someone with the power and credibility to silence all doubt? That's exactly what just happened in the world of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Reality TV mastermind Carlos King, the producer who sees every side of the drama, has confirmed what fans suspected all along, that the Scott family is facing complete turmoil after Latisha's shocking revelation about her marriage. This isn't just another reality TV cliffhanger. It's bigger, it's messier, and the fallout has reached far beyond the screen, leaving fans stunned, dividing households, and sparking debates across every social media platform. But why now? Why did Carlos King feel compelled to speak out? And what really happened behind the scenes that pushed Latisha to break her silence after years of defending her husband? Today, we're going to unpack everything, step by step, from Latisha's bombshell to Marcelo's reaction to Carlos King's confirmation, and what it all means for the future of the show, the family, and even the Huntsville community. Stick with me until the end because what you're about to hear will change how you see this family forever. When it comes to reality TV, especially on a show like Love and Marriage Huntsville, drama isn't just expected, it's practically guaranteed. That's the trade-off for letting cameras into your life. You get exposure, fame, and business opportunities, but you also sacrifice privacy, and every little crack in your family dynamic becomes magnified for the world to see. Still, every once in a while, something happens that goes beyond the usual on-screen arguments and staged confrontations. Sometimes the tension becomes so real that it shakes not only the cast, but also the audience to its core. And that's exactly what we're witnessing right now with Marsau, often misnamed Maro or Marcelo in fan discussions, and his wife, Latisha Scott. For years, fans of the show have speculated about Marsau's personal life. His sharp wit, his dismissive responses, and his tendency to brush off uncomfortable questions have often fueled suspicions that he wasn't being completely transparent about what was really happening behind closed doors. Rumors of infidelity, whispers of hidden secrets, and endless debates about his behavior have followed him since the show's earliest seasons. But up until recently, most of that chatter remained speculation. It lived in fan forums, YouTube recaps, and Twitter threads, but it never crossed the line into confirmed fact. Through it all, Latisha stood firm. Over and over again, she defended her marriage, sometimes fiercely, sometimes quietly, but always in a way that made it clear she was determined to protect her husband and her family's image. She went toe-to-toe with cast members who dared to question Marsau's loyalty. She shut down conversations that ventured too close to rumor territory. To many viewers, Latisha was a woman determined to hold her family together, even if it meant shielding her husband's flaws from public scrutiny. That loyalty became part of her identity on the show. The faithful wife, the protector, the one who refused to let gossip dismantle her household. But as fans now know, that loyalty had its limits. Because recently, in a moment that shocked both cast and viewers, Latisha made a choice that flipped everything upside down. Instead of brushing off rumors, instead of defending Marsau as she had always done, Latisha decided to speak. And what she said left the audience stunned. She openly acknowledged that her husband hadn't been completely transparent. She revealed that behind closed doors, things weren't exactly as picture perfect as they appeared on camera. Her words hinted at behavior that crossed boundaries within their marriage, behavior that she could no longer ignore, justify, or hide. What made this moment so powerful wasn't just the content of what she revealed. It was her tone, her delivery, her raw honesty. There was no defensiveness, no rehearsed lines, no sense of performance for the sake of television. This wasn't a storyline created for ratings. This was a wife speaking from a place of exhaustion and truth, finally choosing to stop carrying the weight of defending someone who hadn't been completely honest with her or with the world. It sounded like a breaking point, the moment where the dam finally cracked and years of pent-up frustration came spilling out. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube with reactions. Clips of Latisha's reveal went viral overnight. Analysts broke down every word she said, every facial expression, and every subtle gesture, dissecting the truth from the performance. Suddenly, the question wasn't, is Marsau hiding something? The new question was, how much did Latisha really know, and why did she choose to expose this now? Latisha's reality didn't just embarrass her husband. It tore through the Scott family like wildfire. Relatives who had long chosen silence were suddenly pulled into the storm. Some applauded Latisha's courage, praising her for finally prioritizing truth over image. Others condemned her, arguing that exposing private family matters in public was a betrayal that could never be undone. Behind closed doors, tensions escalated quickly. Family gatherings that once centered on food and laughter were now filled with suspicion and whispered conversations. Brothers and cousins debated whether Latisha had gone too far. In-laws wondered how much of the truth had been hidden from them as well. And looming over it all was the awareness that this wasn't just private business anymore. This was a scandal playing out in front of millions of viewers, with cameras ready to capture every glance, every awkward silence, and every word of backlash.
And then there were the children. While the show often avoids putting the kids at the center of the drama, insiders close to the family have admitted that the tension in the household was undeniable. Children are observant. They notice when voices are raised, when energy shifts, when rooms feel heavy. For the Scott kids, this wasn't just a storyline for TV. It was a new reality that they had to navigate, one that fans on social media were openly discussing in real time. Of course, all eyes turned to Marsau. How would he respond now that the rumors had been given weight by his own wife's words? In the moment, his reaction was defensive. He tried to frame Latisha's statements as misunderstandings or exaggerations. He attempted to maintain control of the narrative, reminding fans that perception isn't always reality. But the problem with his defense was that this wasn't an outsider accusing him. This wasn't a blogger digging for clicks. This was his wife, the one who had defended him for years, the one who knew his life better than anyone else. And that made it almost impossible to dismiss her words as baseless. Insiders have since revealed that heated arguments erupted between Marsau and Latisha behind the scenes. Arguments too raw and too personal to ever make it to air. For a man who has long prided himself on control, being exposed by his own wife in front of the world was a blow deeper than any rumor he'd ever had to swat away. It wasn't just about public perception anymore. It was about betrayal, pride, and the unraveling of an image he'd carefully built over the years. And then came the moment that shifted the scandal from dramatic to seismic. Carlos King spoke. For those unfamiliar, Carlos isn't just another producer. He's the architect of Love and Marriage Huntsville. He knows the cast intimately. He sees the raw footage, hears the conversations that never make the final edit, and understands the pressures of reality TV like few others in the industry. When he weighs in on a scandal, it carries weight, because fans know he's seen the truth up close. Carlos confirmed that Latisha's revelation wasn't scripted. It wasn't part of a manufactured storyline designed to keep viewers hooked. It was raw, it was real, and it pushed the Scott family into a full-blown crisis that went far beyond what cameras could capture. By saying this, Carlos blurred the line between reality TV and actual reality. For years, fans have debated how much of the show is authentic versus produced. Carlos's statement essentially told the world, this isn't entertainment. This is a family unraveling in real life. And that confirmation opened the floodgates. If Carlos was willing to admit that Latisha's truth was unscripted and devastating, what else was going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about? Had production been protecting the family image all this time? Or had Carlos himself been blindsided by Latisha's breaking point? Fans flooded forums with speculation, and suddenly the conversation wasn't just about Marsau and Latisha, it was about the ethics of reality TV itself. The internet did what it always does. It exploded. Hashtags trended, memes popped up within hours, YouTube commentators uploaded hour-long analyses, some defending Latisha's courage and others condemning her decision to go public. Twitter threads dissected not only the reveal itself,
but also the broader implications for marriage, loyalty, and family reputation. Suddenly, the Scotts weren't just a caste couple, they were a cultural case study, sparking debates about gender roles, honesty in marriage, and the costs of reality TV fame. This scandal has consequences that stretch beyond the couple themselves. Marsau and Latisha's personal brand is their business brand. Every rumor, every headline, every viral clip has the power to affect their credibility, their partnerships, and even their income. And because Love and Marriage Huntsville is set in a tight-knit community, the whispers don't stay on social media. They spill into church events, local businesses, and neighborhood circles. Reputation matters in Huntsville, and the Scotts' reputation has taken a direct hit. Carlos King himself hinted that what we saw on air was only the tip of the iceberg. In his words, the real story was deeper, messier, and more painful than what made it to air. That statement should send chills down your spine, because if what we already know is this explosive, imagine what hasn't been revealed yet. Imagine the secrets still being held back, the conversations still locked away in raw footage, the arguments cut in the editing room, and the truths that family members are still unwilling to share. This is the moment where reality TV stops being entertainment and starts being a mirror, exposing the cost of fame, the fragility of image, and the devastating power of truth when it finally comes to light. So here's the question for you. Was Latisha right to finally speak her truth, even if it meant exposing her husband and shaking her family to the core? Or should some secrets remain behind closed doors no matter the cost? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you side with Latisha for her courage, or with those who say family business should never become public spectacle? If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. Because with Carlos King himself confirming that this drama is far from scripted, you can bet this story is only just beginning.